Hi everyone, how are you? As I had to show you that I don't know if the person was trolling or not, but they said that they can't stand my voice and my baby talk. It's blood curdling and it gets better as I go, but they just thought I should know. And I saw it was a month ago, so it's like, I was, still really hurting from my surgery and that before that I had the vid again, so it's like my voice was really messed up. Well, and then I have bad allergies, and as I am in my office here and looking and stuff, I'm drinking hot tea, so I don't know if that gets that blood curdling aspect out of my voice or not. But you know what? Sometimes I'm just joking around, and I am sorry if that person does not have a freaking sense of humor or not. Um, Everybody gets a chance to make a comment, and then if they do something stupid like that, then I just block them and they can't ever write it again. It's not like as cool as Facebook where you like totally get to just like delete and block the person. They go into the trap door never to be seen again. But like everybody has a chance. Make it worthwhile, if you're gonna pop off like that. But I went around and I was like, do I have a really bad voice? Like everybody know? That's one of the things I actually get complimented on a lot is my voice. So it was something really um, out of the blue. And as I've kind of talked a little bit about before, is that I was a professional speaker by trade. Um, I'll explain that once I'm doxxed, my full name comes out. I'll explain more about how that all came about. And I used to make 2 grand to open my mouth. I used to be paid to talk. So you guys all get it free now. It's like if I had that bad of a voice, I doubt that I would have been paid to have had the jobs that I did and to speak in the capacities that I did on um, legislative issues and whatnot. But you know, I don't know. So, you all been? Um, I live in a part of the country where we are under a blizzard warning. And I was getting really depressed because it was melting really bad um, in the last couple of weeks. And it's just, I don't like that melty stuff. And it was just cold and I'm old, so it was making my bones ache. And I just was getting just down and depressed. And then when I went down the rabbit hole for that horrible orphanage, um, it really drained me. I'm something of an empath, although people don't believe me on when I talk on these subjects. Um, and my emotions really are going to the children in the orphanage. And I know that we have children in our country too that need help. Um, but this one was just so blatant in the way that they are blatantly dangling her as a piece of meat to be trafficked, and they don't care that they're laughing about it and showing the before and afters of her, and they're just taunting us, and that's something that I can't get out of my head. I am totally willing to take custody of Totu. I would absolutely do it. I would dedicate the rest of my life to helping her get the help that she needs and to have some kind of a quality of life. I live in an area where um, there is great access to the best medical care. That's why I had to move out to where I live. Um, I've had health issues with my own children, and that I've shared with you. My youngest has cerebral palsy, and his twin was born with um, hemangioma. It was actually two that formed into one really big one on her forehead, and she had one on her wrist, and so she had to have laser surgeries and plastic surgeries, and um, those were things that she's 19 now, but so when that first was, they were just of the belief that those would fade, and they some do, but hers was not. And taking her anywhere was really sad because people would just point. Going to Costco I mean, it looked like a clown nose on her forehead. It really did. I understand, but it's not that I had affixed that to her head. Um, and most people were nice and sympathetic, but some were like, "Why aren't you doing something about that?" It's like, I've done everything I can. I've consulted with vascular specialists and everywhere at the children's hospital. They wouldn't do anything until I really started researching and got into a experimental with the laser, and then ultimately moved to the area where I live now, which has the best medical care arguably in the country. And they did several plastic surgeries on her, and agreed that you know I was doing everything I could, and it would have been great if I could have intervened sooner, but it wasn't something that they were doing then, unless the hemangioma was blocking their esophagus. Um, so, and through that, my kids needed physical, occupational, and speech therapy because of their prematurity, and my three youngest were preemies. So, my three youngest, all three were born in 2 days less than 1 year. So, the twins were born, and my next oldest turned 2 days later. So, um, they're all grown now, but with those medical challenges in my own, I would gladly take Totu to those clinics every day if I needed to, and do everything I could to help her. I understand that there would be extreme emotional issues. I understand that there would be attachment issues. I understand that if it comes down to it and I could adopt her, I absolutely will. I haven't exactly told my husband yet about this plan. I kind of have let the kids know that, hey, I'm kind of thinking of this, but I think I'll wait till the plan's a little bit more formed before I inform my husband about one more mouth to feed. He would be on board if it came to that. Absolutely. I just feel terrible for that girl, and it is disgusting that the officials are um, allowing this to go on. Our One of our friends here in our community sent me an article, and the article, pretty much sums up what we what we found. We're going through that rabbit hole. You and me, you and us, all of us together. Um, and it was authored on February 18th. So that's very reassuring that while this hit TikTok, that beautiful girl, Kels Killer, whatever her name is, um, really got some attention for it, because she's just absolutely beautiful, and that blonde long hair, those blue eyes, she was getting a lot of attention because people want to listen to what beautiful people say. That's why we have so many problems with advertising and whatnot, because they were only letting the beautiful, and now we're getting to, okay, let's have what everybody looks like, because we're not all beautiful. But she got it going to the point where I don't watch TikTok hardly at all, but enough that it came across my radar. And then, I spent probably 12 hours, going and cross-referencing everything, and seeing what the people trolling her were talking about, and saw that they were doing nothing other than being idiots, defending traffickers, and causing more of a problem and a delay in getting the information out. Because when somebody sees something like that, they want to have somebody say, oh, this is already amended. This is a situation that was taken care of. It will never happen again. People want to hear that. And so when you get trolls who were probably just jealous of her because she is super beautiful, she's getting a lot of views, but she's not in it for the views. She's in it because she's saying, look, this is a tragedy. And she was able to compare it to, she had went into a facility when she was 15, one of those kinds where Dr. Phil was pimping, where if you're an out of control teen, your parents could call this number and have you kidnapped in the night or meet. I think her parents met them somewhere and take them into this camp, the residential camp, and then your kid comes back, in a year or two, all better, which didn't happen. But she was able to speak to the fact that she is smiling with the people who were actively abusing her, because what happens when you see those children in the orphanage, as you were seeing in Totu, she would sometimes be smiling with her abusers. And so people are like, she wouldn't smile if they were hurting her. And that is not true. As you could see in one of them, when Totu was sitting on the lap of the owner of the shelter, she had her leg just there. So Totu knew not to do anything or cry or anything. And when she started, wiggling a little bit, all that monster owner had to do was pinch the inside of her thigh. And you saw her just straighten back up and be rigid. And that's what it was. I'm sure that she did cry several times when she was being held and filmed. And she probably was punished until she sat through the filmings correctly and then did not get harmed. So the way that they are not getting her is that they are saying that they have custody of her, that they adopted her, that she is theirs, and that's problematic, because it doesn't matter if you birthed the child, adopted the child, were given the child, found the child. If you were an abuser and you just had all of the other kids taken out of the facility, that child needs to go as well. I don't know what they're doing. And you can see, because then they do have the bio daughter. The bio daughter is the owner's sister's child, it looked like. And she's the little girl that seems to lead Totu around when she's around the men, and show her that, oh, yeah, it's okay here. Yeah, I'm going to go now here. I'm going to go dip, and then here, you stay here. You can just tell there's some really dark things that were happening there, or are happening. And when they came to the point of when the TikTok girl, when one of the orphanage, one of the sons that lives there, the one who's like holding her and kissing her and looking in the side of the camera and stuff, all wicked, and saying, that, oh, how could anybody lie and say we're mistreating you? Well, he texted that beautiful girl. I just don't know her first name. It's like her I don't know if her name is Kelly, but it's like her username is like Kelskiller. He messaged her through TikTok and was like, why are you spreading misinformation? And she's like, I'm not. How is Totu? What would it take for us to adopt her? And ultimately, through messaging, it was said that she is not up for adoption. She has been adopted by loving parents. Well, those loving parents are the ones who own the shelter that are now under investigation for all of those charges, who now just got pictured carrying a load of newborns from Turkey into that orphanage. So how do they how do they lose custody, and then they're given more, and then they're allowed to keep the one that obviously is getting them the money? I'm not naive in that I don't know that I'm talking about a war-torn T-word, I don't think I can say that word on here. There is a lot of terrible things happening in that area. So I'm reaching out to my Turkish friends. I have friends. I know that's weird, but long ago and far away. When I was going to be a nurse and I was working at the hospital, we got this Turkish man. And he came in with his daughter and son. And really weren't sure of what his medical condition was. He was having a lot of stomach pain. He wasn't able to eat correctly. Something just wasn't right. Um, the daughter and son were essentially my age, in their 20s, and the father could not speak any English. So there were three sons and one daughter, and the mother, and one would always be there to, make sure that the dad could translate. The mom couldn't speak any English either. Well, a couple days of having him in the hospital, I heard the doctor making fun of him and discharging him. And this doctor was also a minority, not American, and he was making fun of them being foreign, acting like their father is some kind of king or something. It's like he was like going, he's got a stomach ache. They treat him like a king in those countries, and it's ridiculous. He needs to not be here. He doesn't have insurance. There's no way that we can fund this, him having a stomach ache, so get him out. And I saw this man, and this man was not faking anything. This man was very ill. And the family had not applied for government aid, medical coupons, anything like that. They were too proud. They were afraid that they would get in trouble. I think only one or two of them had residency at the time, but they had their parents visiting. So they planned on paying cash for the hospital bill, etc., etc. And I was disgusted at the way that this doctor was making fun of their family. And they drove home, or they took their father home, and I couldn't get my mind off of it. And this is, like 96 before cell phones and everything. So I called back to work, and I called this guy who'd been in the Army, and he was a tech like I was. I was a tech, so I could do everything except for hand out meds. I could do blood work. I could do blood sugars, catheter, basic ultrasound, bladder ultrasounds, etc., etc. So I could do everything except for hand out meds, because I was in a nursing program and I was a technician, so I had other training within there. And I called him, so he was a medic in the Army, and he's like, he served in Afghanistan, so he didn't have any sympathy for them either. And I'm like, please, just give me their number. Just take a peek and just tell me the phone number that they have. And he's like, why? Why would you want to have anything to do with, he was, being racist too. And I was like, please, I'm not going to be able to sleep unless you do. And so he's like, fine. So he gave me the number. I called them. I called and I spoke with the son and the daughter and asked them, if I could come over and look and help them with their dad. And they told me where their apartment was, and I went out there. Their dad looked terrible, and so I sat there. I think I had 3 hours before my shift that day, so I spent 3 hours with them and just spoon fed him some broth and a little bit of 7-Up and whatnot, and just really worked on it because he could not hold anything down. So it was like only every 5 minutes I was giving him something, but I was just trying to keep him alive. And I told his, family what to watch for. And then I explained our system of emergency medical assistance, et cetera, et cetera. And they were like, no, they'll deport us if we ask. And I was like, no, they will not. You have a medical emergency. This is real. I promise you. I was like, I'll pay if something goes wrong, but you're going to have to take him to another hospital either tonight or tomorrow, and you're going to need to go and apply for emergency medical services through the government, blah, blah, blah. So we agreed that would be the plan for the next day. So they went to one of them went to the government office the next day and got all the paperwork and stuff, and they were like, they said that they didn't get in trouble. They didn't feel like they were going to be in trouble. And I was like, okay, that's good. And then I said I'd be over there. And by the time I got there, the dad looked worse. He just looked worse. Like he was much more green. And I said, I've got to go to work. So follow me in. And they're like, no, we're not going back to your hospital. No, 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 no. And I was like, okay, okay. So I gave them the number to another hospital. And they were okay. And I said, and bring the paperwork, show that, you've applied for medical so they can confirm it, so they can see and they can communicate. So that if he has to have another hospital admission, this is there, whatever. And they were like, so afraid. And I'm like, look, your dad's going to die if you don't. He's going to die tonight. We don't have any more time. You have to. And they were just like, no, he'll be fine. I'm like, no, you have to. You have to listen to me. So then they agreed that they were going to take him in, and I went into work. And I told my charge nurse what was going on the whole time when I was there. And a couple hours in, my charge nurse called me, and she said, guess who's getting transferred and is going to receive emergency surgery because he had a perforated bowel. Yep. So when they were making fun of him, that doctor who made fun of him got a call from the other hospital and said, why did you discharge him? His bowel is perforated. It's been perforated. It's inside of him. He is filled with, and he's dying of sepsis. So they had him transferred. They had him in surgery, and then he was in the ICU by that night. So I stayed with him that night. And, my charge nurse, pulled me off the floor, let me go be with the family. And he was in the hospital then for almost 2 months. But the family just took me in as their own, and they were just like, the mom was like, you're my daughter, I can see it in your eyes. And they had me over, and they'd cook for me, and I went down to the Turkish festival and stuff with them to see everything, and they wanted me to go to Turkey with them. And the daughter actually was like the equivalent of our Vanna White. She was on a game show over in Turkey. Super beautiful. And she said to her brother, she said, she'll be my guest. And the brothers were like, no, she's our guest. And they looked at each other, glaring, and I didn't get it at first. And then, they talked to me and they said that I would be at extreme risk of going to a country like that, not being able to hide the ghost color that I am. I'm the color of ghost. And they explained that, I'd have to really tone down my Americanness, not be talking with my hands. If I could dye my hair darker, if I would wear a scarf over my head, everything. I mean, they talked to me. I never have went to Turkey, but I mean, they were very, very realistic about the state of their country. Their sister that I was going to go and stay with when I went to them, they have like 64 vehicles. They have, all that money can buy. But when it comes down to their father having a massive illness that nearly killed him, ultimately they got the medical coupons and that covered and everything. But it was just so scary for them because they had money in their country, but that money doesn't go far when, in a hospital, it's $2,000 to $10,000 a night easily, depending on the kind of care you need. You go in the ICU, it's $50,000. I mean, easily. You can just, it is a mess. So it took forever. Their dad got better and whatnot. So I haven't spoken to them in years, but I'm reaching out to them right now to help me translate and explain to me where this is, because the shelter itself has the symbol of Turkey on it. But it says that this shelter is in Azerbaijan. And when those women were flying with those newborns, they were flying, and then those 3 creeps that came from Istanbul. So I'm assuming that Azerbaijan is either in a remote part of Turkey or on a border. Um, but it sounds like it's a very dangerous Muslim extremist. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with being Muslim. I'm saying that there are extremists and there are more relaxed. But what we're talking about here is the kind where they are, I think they're Sunni. Are they Sunni? They're not very fond of women. They won't let women go to schools, that kind of stuff. And now, and in the article that was sent to me, it had that rumor where they were saying that Totu is a boy being dressed up as a girl. And sadly, for other reasons, it is confirmed that Totu is a girl, and it was just a translation error. And there's many other languages where they don't have a word for his and her, so that does happen. But they were dressing up boys as girls in their ads, and that's sadly a part of trafficking. So I've still been working on that, and it just upset me to the point where yesterday I just kind of collapsed and slept for 24 hours. I really, my emotions can come through. I can feel bad for somebody who I can see on a screen that's around the world. So thank you all for looking at that and thinking of ideas. You know, somebody said Amnesty International. I'm willing to, because like I say, I'm willing to play their game. Or if they want to say that, you know, she's got medical issues, so she's not adoptable. Well, those medical issues would be perfectly treated here. There should not be an issue. If that's the issue and why you won't, well, let's see here. So, with that, I was going to try something here. I'm in the middle of a blizzard, so they say it might be one of the biggest in history, one of the top 5. So it started getting a little bit bad earlier, but okay, let me see if this works. Let's see. Okay, so this channel here, as you guys may be able to see, I'm hoping this is working. It's this channel, and I could go and find these videos. I could record them on my own or whatnot, but they have been doing shorts on some of the bigger videos, and so the shorts are popping up, and they have a different crowd. They have, obviously they have 30,400 subscribers, so they are all in very pro Shanann, against Chris. They don't believe in the ways that our community does. When you see numbers like that against what I have, you see I'm in the minority of what people think. And this creator, the comments on there are not being answered with the level of fact and acuity in which they can. I don't think that this creator answers them, probably just lets them kind of stay so that other people can see him and think. And so I was thinking, you know what I'll do is I'll play these under the fair. Let me see here. What we'll do is we'll do a copyright disclaimer. So under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. And my channel is for entertainment and educational purposes only. I figure that this person could strike me for doing this, but this person could also be okay with the fact that they're getting the watch time, and, you know, I have haters that would probably want to go on this page and go there too. So what I need to do is I need to stop frequently, but I kind of want to show and see if we can see some of these together. If it doesn't work, hopefully you can just hear them. But I wanted to look at this one here.
Okay. Pizza's here?
So right here we have Bella and Cece. They are running in the Immaculate House because Pizza's here. And this was supposedly the day where there was going to be surgery the next day. And all of us who are moms have never heard of two girls, different ages, having surgery on the same day. That would be a very bad idea because then you would not be able to tend to each child in the ways that they would need as they're coming out of anesthesia. So there's always been questions about this. There was a film the next day when Cece was coming out of anesthesia and they were letting her eat Cheerios and everything, which was really weird because supposedly the surgery was to get their tonsils out and ear tubes in. And so what she was eating afterwards did not make sense. And supposedly Bella was upstairs asleep, so you couldn't see that Bella had also had the surgery. Now, in the autopsies, they did not mention that the girls had a previous history of surgery, and they did not mention the tubes in the ears. It's interesting, to say the least, but the girls were really excited about the pizza.
Where is it?
Right there.
Are you excited?
Yeah, it's pizza.
Yes, pizza's here. How many pieces are you gonna have?
I'm going to have really a lot.
Really a lot? That's a lot.
So Bella says she's going to have really a lot of pizza. She's running over here. And those of us who are moms, white chairs and kids, no. I with black leather, is much easier to take care of. As the kids were in their later teens, I went with gray. Gray hides a lot of dirt. I just would not have been able to keep these white cloth chairs clean at all. Now, as we go over here, look at the panda on that seat.
Are you excited pizza's here?
Just saying.
Yeah.
Are you starving?
Yeah.
Well, Bella's just out of her tree. And she's just like, cannot wait, right? Now, the thing that gives me the EBGBs here is how far out that chair is where Cece is. And Cece had a lot of accidents, crashes, falling, which happens, and that's why you have to be super proactive with kids in making sure that they have the best setup so that they're not gonna fall out of things. And this chair with no sides and that thing strapped and it out there and that floor below being tile, just it scares me so bad. I just want to run up and hold it and secure it. So when she's wiggling back and forth and she puts herself in there, I'm so scared. And then those clasps, those clasps, how many times have we gotten pinched with those clasps? And so Shanann says, don't get your fingers pinched in there. And I'm about ready to scream the same thing because it's it's just one of those things that just hurts, just those little car seat ones. And it just gets that piece of your skin. And it's just oh. And, there's just, I don't know, there's so many innuendos about pandas these days. I've just never seen a panda chair like that, so that's interesting. Now, pizza before surgery, they often say that, especially with a child, you want to give a child something that is a little easier on the tummy the night before surgery, like mashed potatoes, easy to digest, chicken pot pie, things like that, because what you're afraid of is that the anesthesia is going to make them throw up. So you want to make sure that they don't have something that's going to aspirate. So pizza the night before surgery is just because that's going to cause a lot of reflux. We know that Bella and Cece had reflux, and I think was it just Cece who was on she was on Pepcid for that. So I'm just going, okay, that's going to be coming up, and I would not do that the night before surgery, but But they're just so excited about that pizza. So then we go over here.
You guys gonna eat a whole pie by yourself?
Yeah.
Cece's over here giving me a heart attack.
Good job, Cece. I'm glad we've raised independent children.
Yep, she says, there we go. We've raised independent children.
Watch your fingers.
Watch your fingers, there you go. Okay, so then we go over here to the comments. Okay, now, oh my God, Cece was so cute jumping on that seat, ready for a meal. I don't know how anyone could hurt their children. Okay, so that goes down to, you know, it's a little bash on Watts. Okay, go here. Oh, wait. Oh, I did
Hey
not want to do that.
guys, good morning.
No, we gotta go back. Over here. Hold on. Go over here. We see her getting ready for surgery, I believe, over here, but I wanted to look at a couple other things. They were so excited for that pizza. So cute. I would have taken these girls too. I would have absolutely taken them. I'd have had about 95 to 1,000 kids if I could. Okay. Gotta find it because the comments in... It's in the shorts. Where did it go? But in the popular. Yeah, it was. Here we go. Okay.
Pizzas. Pizzas.
So, go over here and it's like, oh, sweet little Cece buckling herself in. And then, you know, it says, you know, they never did a single thing wrong to anyone in the world, which is true. No, he did not do that. Why did that do that again? No, no. I need to get back here. Shorts. Popular. Sorry, guys. I want you to see these comments. They're just gold. Let me see. Oh, it is snowing so much. I think we're supposed to get 24 inches. Something like. Let's see. How does this one move? No, I'm so not. What is it?
Hey guys.
So when I do that, how can I... You guys are probably yelling at me like, okay, just get to what you're trying to say. Okay, so these...
Pizzas. Pizzas here? Where is it?
Okay. So it says here, and it's like, you know, notice how Chris locks the door like he's going to protect his family from intruders when they need to be protected from their father. It's just, you know, it just goes on here. And then it says, interesting how the mother and the kids interacted, and the father didn't even say one word to the kids, happy because of the pizza. He was grabbing the pizza. He was dishing up the pizza while she was standing there filming. And I mean, that's the thing. They don't realize that he's the one who got the pizza, worked to pay for the pizza, gets the pizza, smiles at the camera, goes over and is dishing it up while she's standing there filming. They're so critical. They don't see the big picture at all. Let me see here. And go here. And it says, damn, he doesn't even acknowledge their presence at all. He's a true narcissist. And they've got 189 thumbs up. like I say, he looked up at the camera like, hey, well, he's grabbing the pizza, goes, and he's the one dishing it up. He bathed them. He got them ready. He made their meals. He got their first bottles ready in the morning. He washed all of their clothes. He did all of their diapering duty and washed all of their clothes, wasn't able to put them in the dryer. He's the one who sat down with them on the floor to play with them. He did all of the primary care. It's so weird how they don't see that. And let me see here. And then she said, I'm glad we raised independent children. She really loved that monster. Wow. It's like, and then the next, I'm glad I raised independent children. Well, there were so many of those things that, are problematic with that. But they go here, and there's got to be, I guess when I was seeing the pictures or the comments here that I guess I must have just gotten the golden ones that they knew would have made me just flame up, because and now look at this here. Great kids. Can we create a GoFundMe to pay one of the other inmates to go and talk to him just to remind him of what he destroyed? Pretty sure that the entire justice system is trying to keep everybody safe, and then they go here, Cece behaves well when food is put in front of her. Bella is an angel. And they do that because of how Cece, they say was not well behaved, whereas I just don't think that she was properly stimulated. And then they see this as they say, he's so disconnected, it's horrible. This hurts my heart. He said that for a while he knew he was going to just kill them, that he would just look at them and know what his plans were. That his children could feel the energy and that they were like staying away from him. Gut-wrenching. This is more heartbreaking, something I can't even fathom. Rest in peace to 4 precious souls. I do know what they're talking about, and that's that's taken out of text. So let me see. I want to find the ones where they're talking about. Let me see. I hope Chris Watts gets the Jeffrey Dahmer treatment in prison. Like, you do not know. But look at how many people. Okay, now see, this person has half a brain. So she says, what was the surgery they had the next day? Tubes and ears? Usually you have to have an empty stomach for surgery. I know they're little, but... And so this person has a thing, and then it says, for surgery, you're usually NPO, no food or drink, starting at midnight the day before. So this would have been 100% fine. The stomach only needs 12 hours. That's not really what they're saying. And with smaller children, that's not... I got different information for my children's surgeries, which would have been even before, and even when I just had my surgery, they're like, they want you to be pretty light with what you're eating. And then this one says, look at Sweet Bella's hair. It's really starting to grow in nice. My firstborn was bald at birth, had light, thin hair till about 5 years. Then by the time she was in 2nd grade, it was completely down her back. Shanann's children were so obedient and full of life, so happy and existed all about the yummy and special treats in their lives. This is because of their mommy. Shannon R. installed such perfect mannerisms in her girls. They are just lovely. Her children's bio father murdered a pregnant Shanann and those sweet, innocent little girls, because all along, without his wife knowing, having knowledge, is a narcissistic, psychotic, psychopath scumbag who has no remorse for stifling the life out of his aunt wife and his terrified daughters, then literally shattering the lives of their loving family and friends. The detectives who investigated this despicable case, the police and EMS who pulled those little girls out of the oil tanks and saw things no one should ever see. And so many people have learned about this case. Alan and Cece, through their videos, A Beautiful Life, blah, 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 blah. The psychopath who took their lives should have his life taken, and should that happen, only then true justice can finally be served. So here we sit, listening to the psychotic family, telling him they don't care what he did, and have to listen to the scumbag himself whine in prison, saying, I have to get out of here. YouTubers who defend him and his family are in stupid comments about other persons who persuaded him to annihilate his family. Also, the life insurance on Shanann and her children that had to be divided between the family of the scumbag, that says he is innocent and belongs home again, don't care what he has done, and the family... what is she talking about? I can no longer listen to the injustice that is crumbling down on Shanann, Bella, Celeste, Nico, and their heartbroken family and friends. I just don't understand why this evil is still happening to the heartbroken victims of the sickening, senseless, depraved murder that still lives in the world, and of course the victims he slaughtered. Until that monster suffers, there will be no justice. No, monster, God does not forgive you. No, monster, you will never ever get out of prison. No, monster, you will never ever walk through the gates of heaven. Finally, when you're all burning, when you are burning where you belong, whenever that is, all your victims will get the justice they have longed for, needed, and very much deserves. What is she talking about? You do realize that the Rusiks have a $6 million judgment against Christopher Watts. In the insurance that I read, that I showed, where that was the insurance company trying to decide who got that accidental D&D policy. That was the insurance coming forward and looking at those numbers, and I showed that to be fair to show. But there's all these people that think erroneously that the Watts have gotten all this money and that the Watts are doing this, and it's these big channels that have these videos out there with all of this commentary going on, and it goes unchecked, and that's still so problematic. I wish I could find the thread that popped up on my phone about this. Let's see. Let me see. I wonder if it is just showing up. I wonder if I can see it on my phone. Like I say, it's probably like just showing me on my phone so that I can... Okay. I wanted you guys to see it, but it may not work. What if I do it this way? Okay. Let me see. And these are from 2 years ago, and they don't have anybody, really ever interacting or, talking about the facts and stuff. And I can't find... Basically, what they were saying is that these children were so sick that they spent so much of their life in the hospital and doctor's offices, and other people were commenting on that, and gosh, I just can't even find it now. phone. Let's see. I think I'm getting close. Well, let's look at some other ones since I can't find what I wanted to show you. And this thing, like, this person says, I cry because she was the best mom. My mother was half-ass. They don't know. These little videos, these little vignettes were to promote the MLM. They are not showing what was truly going on in that family. And when people say that they aspire to be a mom like her and that they wish that they had her as a mom, they really just, they don't know the whole story. And like I say, it's kind of, well, it's just like mainstream media promoting the headlines and the narrative of the things that were not true and are not accurate as to what was going on in this family. These bigger channels do too, because they're making their money on, I mean, with all of the, there's so many more people that follow the basic headlines and don't ask and don't look and don't know the truth. And I just feel like that's part of the problem. So I don't know how long this will be up, because this channel could totally strike me. I'm, like I say, I'm trying to think that, well, they'd be okay because they get the watch time. Let's see, what is this her in surgery?
Hey, Bella.
Let's see.
Bella, who's playing on Monday Night Football tonight?
Oh.
The Giants.
Oh, that's Bella. Why does Bella have a shower cap over her head? What's this? What's this? I don't know that I've seen this video. What is this? Chris says, you know, hey Bella, who's playing on football tonight? She's like, oh, she's so cute. She's so animated.
No.
Oh no. They're just laughing about her. What's she doing? Why does she have a shower cap on her head? She's
Do
just
you want the
looking.
Giants to win or lose?
Move. Move.
She wants the Giants to lose because, you know, her parents were Steelers fans. So
Oh, space.
see this. Oh, that's
Win.
Grandpa. Grandpa's there. And see, like I say, I think that the grandpa man, I think he was a good grandpa man. I see him as a nice grandpa, but
Say, go Steelers.
she's not saying
Hey,
those
Bella.
things.
Bella, who's playing on Monday Night Football tonight?
Oh.
The Giants.
I don't know why she's wearing the shower cap there. Let me see what kind of comments we have from, let's see. I don't even like hearing CW's voice talking to those baby girls. And it's got 455 thumbs up. Okay, that was their father. We don't know what happened that night. I tend to believe the first.
Bella, guess what?
Let's see.
That's it.
Guess what?
Okay, so now look at how short Bella's hair
The
is here.
Giants won last night.
Okay, so this is the day after, because, oh, Bella, guess what? The Giants won last night. Okay, so she's got cereal in front of her. She's sitting there, and she's going back and forth on that chair. It's giving me a heart attack. But look at her hair there. That is not from malnutrition. That is not from her pulling it out. That is because Shanann was cutting her hair every 30 days on the frickin' dot. And proud of it. And that's how we know that's what's going on. And Bella just wanted to have long hair. That's the only thing she wanted. And so we saw Shanann in other videos threatening her, saying, do you want another haircut? And then the same thing, the only thing that gave her comfort, when she was locked in her room for 15 out of 24 hours a day behind locked doors, not interacted with, she sucked her thumb. So her mom said she could get barrettes as presents if she stopped sucking her thumb, which is sad to me because barrettes are just part of, you know, a girl's wardrobe. I think that before my daughter was even born, I had a whole drawer full of bows and everything, and she found no humor in those bows and whatnot. She was not a girly girl. She didn't like the bows, nope. But even when my husband took the boys and her, because they all kind of look like three little Norwegian boys because they all had the very, very light hair and blue eyes. And I think the brother was 2 and they were about 1. And my husband took them in the exchange to get their hair cut and was going to have my daughter just have her hair trimmed. But the lady at the exchange thought they were all boys, and so she gave them all quick buzz cuts. And it was mortifying, but her hair grew back like super fast. I mean, it's not like hair does not grow. And I mean, even with me having all of the issues from illness and the vid causes a lot of hair loss. If you're having hair loss, you don't know why, you're waking up with your pillowcase looking like, you know, you had a big fight with yourself, pulled out all your hair. That's from the vid. It's just terrible. But I had to have 9 inches cut right after, and then I couldn't, you know, have anything done to it. My hair just was terrible after the first time. But it grows back. So even from illness and what I've had, I know that it grows back. But also, cutting hair every 30 days is too much. And Bella had naturally curly hair. And so naturally curly hair needs to be cut by somebody who knows what they're doing and cut dry, because you need to follow the curl pattern. And especially so when they're little. And that's the thing, is that her mom and dad, Shanann's mom and dad, moved in and they were there for 16 months. So Shanann's mom could have cut Bella's hair. Why was Shanann still cutting it this terribly? I mean, they were making her look like a boy, and I don't know if that speaks to, you know, when Shanann wanted to give him a boy so bad, or why, but it just breaks my heart, because I know that in so many things she said she wanted long hair. Let's see what's going on in here.
Oh no.
I know. You said they were going to lose, but they won.
Oh no.
By
Oh, no.
1 point.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no. You're so
They
funny.
got B.
I don't know. Bella, guess what?
Guess what?
Guess what?
That's a cute one.
Guess what?
What you doing? What you doing? What you doing? What you doing, boo? Let's see here. Go back. I like how these are just in little shorts. Well, please don't go on my laptop, because I know you want to. Oh, this video kind of cracks me up. Because it's Shanann and Chris, and they're on one of the MLM things, and Chris is looking like frickin' Kevin Federline. And I think she looks goofy in this outfit. A lot of people say that she looks very old Hollywood. I don't think she does. I don't think she looks good with her hair up like that. And then she's got a lot of makeup on, and they're going to the beach and swimming. I don't wear makeup when I go to the beach and swimming but you know, I'm more like a man. I hate wearing makeup anyway. But people love this look on her and say she looks so old Hollywood and everything. And she's beautiful, and I you know, I wouldn't deny that she would be able to turn the heads in any room that she went into. But they're walking, and she's talking about what they're going to do, and they're going to get a massage and everything. And Chris is just kind of looking around like, oh, God, you know, oh, yeah, sure, whatever she says. So that one just kind of cracks me up. Let's see here. Boo Boo, please don't walk on this. Please. Boo Boo, you're gonna make me do baby talk, and that's blood curdling. Okay, so let's check this one out. Here we go.
Hey guys.
I
Good
love this halter,
morning,
though.
or I know for Colorado people it's good morning, good afternoon.
Okay, so she's walking. I like that little mixed mani though. I love this halter. I think it is a bikini? And then like that. So I love the outfit. I like the sunglasses, but I just don't, this look here, I'm not all about it, but people really thought that was the old Hollywood style. So, all right.
And for everybody else, I wanted to come here live because today is the big day for the huge. Our cocktail party is tonight, where Product X is going to be released. We're super excited.
Ooh, Product X is gonna be released. You've got Chris there, so she's like looking like people said, Hollywood glam. And like I say, I love this little thing. And then I mean the glasses match it and everything. I think it's really pretty. And he's just like, why is he wearing a woman beater? Like, really? And then he's got nips, and I just don't think this is a good look for him. But tonight's a big night for the cocktail party. They're releasing Product X, so OMG.
We're heading to the pool right now, and
Chris,
then
give that
we
look
have
like
a massage today paid for by Lavelle.
Okay, so they're having a massage paid for by Lavelle. How is Lavelle paying that? Did they have like a drawing and you get a couple bonus things, or are they going to give Chris a little rub and tug as a bonus for going? Why?
Today at 3:30. So Chris and I are super excited. So we're going to get a massage after we lay by the pool for a little bit and maybe go to the beach again. And then we're going to go.
And that's how we know she did not have lupus. No lupus person is able to travel around, look halfway decent, put on their makeup, and go to the beach, lay out, and the sun. The sun and lupus, does not mix. Nope. That's why things like this, when people who say that, oh, this MLM product can cured my lupus and whatnot, it's problematic because people who are truly suffering from lupus really can't do these things. So then people have her, who's high profile, in their mind, and they're going, well, if she can do it, why can't you? And that's just sad for people who are really truly suffering.
Go to the cocktail party, and we will be live there tonight.
Oh, live at the cocktail party.
Hey guys.
Okay, now this is
good
funny
morning
because...
or
okay, she's out of breath walking while she's talking, right? And she's trying to sell the MLM product that, oh, you know, it makes her have all this energy and everything. And remember how she made Chris write that they were running together and putting her pictures of her shoes and stuff, saying, Chris, say that we just took a run together and everything. She wasn't ever really working out. And you can kind of tell she's, you know, winded there. So I thought that was kind of funny. But, okay. So let's see if I can find some of them. Okay, like people here. She has no idea that devil's right behind her. Oh, that's just... It's not like Kevin Federline. Let me see. And then he says, it's so unbelievable. He had it all. She's so lovely, I'll never understand. And that's got 623 thumbs up and 77 replies. And we'll see. Okay, look, this person says it too. Why is he dressed like Kevin Federline? Okay, like seriously, because he is. He's dressed like K-Fed. Let me see. She's so stunning. He chose a dank, smelly cell and forever looking at only men over this beautiful woman. He wanted a new life, and now he's got one. Look at him walking freely. It's like, no. What does this one say? She was beautiful, and she was everything Nicole wished she could be and never could have been, no matter how hard she tried. What? Okay, so this person, Todd Davidson, is correct. He says, I hope that Chris will give his life to the Lord. I pray for both sides of the family. That is a mature response. And he has absolutely given his life to the Lord. Let me see. There's something I wanted to show you. Does anyone else love the way that she says, hey guys? Her voice is so comforting. I do that like as a joke. I'm like, hey guys. Hey guys. But apparently that is blood curdling. Let me see. This person says, I don't want to think about this case anymore. I don't know why people are so obsessed with it. Let this family rest, please. Let us all rest. Well, until there is a trial and all of the facts and the truth come out, there are more questions than there are answers. And let me see. He had moobs, the camera. Hey guys, stuff was annoying living through a camera screen every day. I mean, it is, but they noticed his moobs too. Okay, now, Shanann, only if you hadn't accepted that friend's request on Facebook, you'd still be here. It's not that simple. It's the trajectory that her life was in and the higher risk lifestyle that she was living rather than what he was. It's that's not really a good I don't know. I don't know how people can be that naive. And then Lavelle is a multivitamin MLM. Okay, well, wonderful. And then it says, he looks so uninterested. Looking at these videos now shows what an imposter he was. Rip to her and the babies. He wasn't the imposter. What was he doing that he was not the one being deceitful? Now this person says, don't get involved with crazy women. It ends bad for everyone. Buy them another cat and break it off. What? Buy them another cat? And then this one, says, years later, I'm still watching Shanann because of her positive outlook on life and her encouraging words. That was because she was selling you a product. These were commercials. It says here too, she looks so relaxed and peaceful here, enjoying a nice vacation, great weather, good food, festivities, having no clue the man she's chilling with is a devil in disguise. No, she wasn't with the kids. She was never relaxed when she was around the kids. They weren't on a family vacation with the kids. Let me see. It's just, you see how much and whatever was in, if you look at it in the way that it could be, that the products that he was putting on himself, those silly stickers, if those silly stickers did contribute to the way that he acted, as I said, with the sleep psychosis and etc., isn't it sad to look back on these MLM vacations for that? That's the problem? And is that why there are so many more people looking at this? Because then it's like, look at this, don't look at that. Don't look at the reality of what that product may have done to this family. What if that product would have never been introduced to the family? What if the results of what was in those silly stickers was processed, because we only have them being given to the laboratory. We don't have the data as to what was in them. What if it came out that the stuff that was in there made him do that? When you go with the fact that he was only able to sleep 3 hours a night due to the fact that the stickers he had on, he said, showed that his body was in an exercise state 24 hours a day. He was not getting REM. He was not going into deep sleep. Who knows what was in them? It was something that was jacking him up, which goes to long-term lack of sleep, long-term lack of REM. Sleep psychosis can occur. Sleep psychosis can make you act out of character, can make you have delusions of all five senses, etc., etc. So when you look at that and see that the obsession was on selling this and the illusion that everything was paid, not making the house payment, not paying the bills because of the MLM, you look at it and you just start to look at it a whole different way. What is this?
Dee Dee. You're like a little worm. Oh, poor Dee Dee.
What is Deer doing?
Oh.
What? Dieter, get out of there. Who did that to Dieter? Okay.
Are you stuck?
Okay. Who did this to Dieter? Dieter?
Bella would get a kick out of this.
Okay, it's not funny.
Come here, Dee Dee.
I don't get this.
Is this mean for me to make fun of you right now?
Yeah, it is. What happened?
Dee Dee Wee Dee Wee Dee Wee Dee Wee.
Who did that to Dieter? Why are we watching this?
Oh, Dieter.
Why is this funny? Why is she standing there filming that? I don't like that.
Dee Dee.
What the when the actual... Okay, that's... Okay. It says the first few seconds it's funny and cute, but after that I instantly had the urge to unroll the poor baby right through the screen. It's not a baby, it's a dog. And it was like a robe. It doesn't make sense, because somebody would have had to put the robe on and rolled it and then left him. Okay, I don't like that. I'm not cool with that.
Tell them you love them.
You're welcome. We love you.
Say love you.
Candy.
Oh yeah, shoot,
Yes.
that's in here.
Tell them you love them.
You're welcome. We love you.
Say love
They're
you.
like-
Candy.
Oh yeah, shoot,
Oh, whose
That's
voice
it.
is that? Because Grandma's talking to him and they're like, "Where's Pop-Pop?" Oh no. They want Pop-Pop. Okay, let me see here. I'm gonna go back to this and see what they're saying about, because I'm disturbed about this Dieter video. I've never seen that. And it's actually here. Good Lord, was it done twice? Okay, I don't like this. Let me see what people are saying here. Okay, see, now somebody with half a brain says, it's strange how she takes videos while her kids or dogs struggle. There's quite a few where she just watches and they give her a look of desperation. When it's her kids, everyone, let's see. Everyone comments that she's teaching the kids to be independent. She's teaching the dog to be independent too. Okay, so someone with a bit of brain cells here. And there's 46 thumbs up, but then there's this. And what nonsense. Absolutely agree, honey. See, true. And then it says, I watched all the videos and she was always filming the kids while doing something dangerous. Okay, there's signs of intelligent life out here that I'm glad, because it's not funny. And there were so many things where the girls were in similar situations, and children grow up and learn trust by the adults helping them. We are essentially their training wheels in life, and we do our best to set up a safe environment so that when they fall, we're here to help them, but we also do our best to make sure that their environments are safe and full of learning and encouragement and love. Now, I'm probably a really shitty mom, but my standards of motherhood are higher than what I've seen her raised her for a motherhood to be. Let's see. Okay, see? Look. It says, oh God, just ignore the Sharters. Oops, I mean Shiners say. They all belong in the same loony cult. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, so this one is actually saying, yeah, you're right. And then it says, the fact that she knew it was wrong doing this and still laughing and asking, are you stuck? She did the same thing to her children, filming them in dangerous situations, saying she was going to choke him one time. Dieter? She said she was going to... What? She said she was going to choke Dieter? Dieter needs to be in intensive counseling, and he needs to be away from, Okay. Let's say here. It says serial killers like watching animals suffer. Not saying she is, but this just screams what kind of a person she was. There are a lot of really curious aspects of her personality that she tried to love the girls, but whether or not she was actively able to is questionable. And I wouldn't care what any adult does, but these beautiful children involved lost their lives over the things that the adults were doing in their lives that were not called out because people were caught up in the illusion of these MLM commercials that are all out here. And it says, yet people worship this woman. A year later, she was in the same situation. And the next person says, I will never understand why people think things like this are funny. And then this says, I assume we're meant to be laughing at this, feeling very anxious here. This shows me that this crowd here, if they were shown more of the truthful videos, all in her own words and just factual, then they might be able to see that there were very problematic behaviors going on. And it says, yeah, it says here, the video where sadist mommy records Cece desperately hanging on top of the sink. Yes, that one made my stomach turn. And it says, I remember another where she was getting Cece up from a nap and Bella was in her room yelling and pleading for Shanann to come and help her. Yes, I remember that too. Shanann just kept filming Cece and ignoring Bella while Cece was trying to get her to get out of the crib to help Bella. Eventually, Cece tried to climb out of the crib herself once she realized Shanann didn't care that Bella needed help. Yeah, that one struck a nerve with me, though it's certainly not the worst of her sadistic nature. Even hiding her cruelty behind the already cruel baby-wise parenting techniques, but going much further than even they recommend. Drugging her kids every night with Benadryl at 6 p.m., pinching their noses and ears as punishment for doing stuff she didn't like. Ugh, I wonder how many of those that worship this woman in death would have liked her in life. Very, very good. This person here is needing a little, she needs to come and go with those of us who are working hard to seek the truth. I'm going to go ahead and give you a thumbs up there, honey, because you don't have one. Okay, this person says, I will never understand why people think these are funny. Okay, so there you go. And then it says here, out of this, sure, show your daughter how to make fun of the dog too. Dieter is just there for your amusement and your perfect life persona. Okay, this video hit the nerve. And it says, I know it's a little late, but I agree this dog should be stuck like that and someone filming it help him. Okay, put the dang phone down and get that dog out of the sleeve. Because that Dieter, I think Dieter to have been put in that because his arms were like in the robe. And it said, this is not a pleasant sight. Poor animal. What was she thinking? Seriously. And then, yeah, about 3 seconds of it, cute, then get the hell off of it. Exactly. And it's like, help Peter, man. I don't like this video. Okay. And now this chick is saying, She says, I'm sorry for all of those who don't see it, but add this to the posts with the girls wrapped in pillows and pillowcases, stuffed animals, face masks, photos all over their faces and heads. This is freaking weird. Exactly. I'm gonna give you a thumbs up, and let's see what we got here. Okay, so see, yeah, so somebody must have jumped her, because she says, you know, you obviously haven't seen the dozens of pictures of Shanann posting pics of Bella and Cece covered in pillows, blankets, toys, headbands, etc., all in their cribs, and posted as if they did it themselves. It's definitely weird. Please research it for yourself. Right. And then look at, so then you got this person, they say, links. No, get off your lazy and go and find it yourself. If you look, you will find it. I hate it when people do that, when they're when they don't agree and they're like, okay, prove it, like bring it to me. No, you go in and research it yourself. And then no, this says, so you're saying she stuffed the dog into that thing? And yeah, because I don't think that Dieter could have gotten his legs into the robe and then rolled over repeatedly in it. Somebody had done that. And I don't know if Cece did, because she said, oh, it's too bad Bella isn't here, because Bella would have thought that was funny. I don't think Bella would have thought that was funny. Bella was very, very sympathetic and empathetic and just sweet. Not saying that Cece wasn't. Cece was younger, and Cece was just different, and being given drugs that she was way too young to be given. And every night. Now, this person says, starting to wonder if she was trying to make her family into some sort of YouTube, Facebook influencer type. So mothers would follow and she'd make money. It's weird they have so many public videos. Her whole life was played out and the girls asked to perform Who Are You Today, etc. It's only watched now because it all went seriously wrong. And then it says SW was unstable, to say the very least. Okay, so where it says here, you know, starting to wonder if she was trying to make her family. She was. It's not starting to wonder. That was. None of those posts were organic of her just saying, you know what, I'm just sitting here thinking this. No, everything worked its way into how this MLM that she was selling gave her that day, gave her that good day, gave her the wake-up calls to her to have a good day, gave her these vacations, gave her this life, gave her this car, gave her that. There was nothing in there that was an organic and truly intimate moment with her husband, and not intimate in the way of with the privies, but intimate in truly connected. She could not connect. Narcissists in their triangulation do that, and to her, the camera was part of her triangulation. It was her in the camera showing this to sell this. This was all to sell, and she desperately had to sell so she could go on the vacations, because she was not happy at home. And it says here too, she got way too much out of a kick out of that. It was quite revealing. There you go. And I just watched it again. I'm sorry, but it doesn't feel right. And she says it herself, and this gave me anxiety. This thread really, really is telling. It says not funny, and then this was funny and cute for about 5 seconds. Yes, I get the dog was fine and not hurt, but like to keep filming when it wasn't even cute or funny anymore. Exactly. And then it says, this freaked me out. I've raised pit bulls my whole life, and I know that that is torture for the poor dog. Can you imagine? Oh, and then this person says, I think Shanann's mother has a lot to do with her insecurities. Why was she so bullied as a kid? She's beautiful inside and out. I don't get it. Her mom knows that for sure. She keeps saying that her daughter had the perfect life. No one has a perfect life. Life is a journey, not a destination. Ooh, this person. There is a lot of signs of intelligent life here. And then it says here, she liked to play with the children so strangely. There are videos. Okay? It's true. And let me see here. What did they do to this person when they said that? It says there's a lot we don't know about her. And then she was not the angel a lot of people think about her. And then it says I felt the same. Even then when he did, if he did as we are informed, is a monster act. And then it says of course he should not. Of course, we're not saying that at all. And no one needs to deduce it to that. It's that this caused a problem, which caused a lot of lies and deceit and stress. And something happened. And then you go, how would we find this? Or where did you? Well, go and find it. And then it says it's in videos on YouTube. Almost every video she is just more or less abusive to her children. Just the fact that she is using them as part of her business and showing them online is wrong, as they can't refuse to be part of it. That is an interesting aspect because then the next person says she was a nutcase. When you have child labor laws, that gets real dicey. MLMs are problematic in the fact that the products are unregulated and they don't need to go by any labor work standards. If you clock in all of the hours that you work while you are trying to sell your products versus what you actually make, you don't make a penny an hour. If you look at the FTC reports and they show that this many people are not going to make this, blah, 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 you've lost all of that money. So you're negative, you're upside down. She was upside down. She was not making the house payment. She was over $25,000 in the hole. She was not making the house payment, not because she thought it'd be a fun thing to do. It's because she couldn't. She was choosing to pay for the vacations and saying that they were paid for by the company, and they were not. Some were not. Okay? I've explained this in other videos. If you're new here, please go back to the Real Bored Housewife of Saratoga Trail, parts 1 through 4. You can probably cut out part 1, but if you really listen to part 3, you're going to get it. But using the kids then in there, and they don't even know what they're saying yes to, that gets into child labor. You're exploiting them. If a child is a model for a product, I don't know how they get away with, that, but they can only work them certain hours. They still have to have their school set up, everything like that. And they have money that they're paid that is put into a trust until they are 18. And their parents get this much, for the cost of living, blah, 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 blah. Okay? That should be included then when you are using your children to manipulate the truth and what is happening in your day to sell something. That is not happening. When their mother is choosing to go on another vacation, to leave those children alone, her not with them, not a family vacation, and not pay the house payment to ensure that those kids are going to have housing, not feed nor care for the baby that you're carrying, that you're pregnant with, saying because you're out of network. All of these things are problematic and do not point to a good mother, and that people aspire to be a good mother. They do not show a good wife and a good mother. They show this as a person who was not happy and doing everything that they could to put a mask on it and be able to travel and get away from the situation that they were in, which was the marriage. It was being a mother, Um, she liked being a nanny, it seemed, where she could leave, you know, take care of the kids and then leave. And that's the way that it often seems in this, is that she is like a babysitter. I mean, sitting there laughing at the dog all tangled up in that, it seems like something that a teenage babysitter would do, standing there just laughing. To not think about how terrifying that would be to a dog. And then she'd be somebody who, if when you go and try and get the dog untangled, if the dog bit her or the child, she'd be the kind that would go and put the dog down, say because the dog bit them. That's what we're trying to show here, and it does not mean that there is anything in it that led to the way that things went down that night. But it is also not responsible to go around and say everything was perfect, and then this just happened, that one day she didn't make his sandwich right, and, you know, he turned out like a rabid dog and just offed them all, and that was it. And she was just as perfect as anybody could be, because that's not truthful. That goes and purports a dialogue that supports a patriarchal society, and it's time that the truth and the facts in this case and others are explored for what they truly are, so that things can be remedied before there's a loss of life, before the damage is not able to be mitigated. This one says, I didn't like that poor dog struggling to get out. I had a hard time breathing myself just watching that video. Cruelty to animals. I agree. Now, if you mistreat your animals and you think it's funny that an animal is tied up, stuck in a blanket, and then you think it's funny when your kids are as well, what is that showing? There you go. Now let's see here. What are these 6 replies? It says, exactly, yeah, she seemed LOL funny too. Okay, what? And then she says, I'm sorry, I didn't know you guys were vets. Shanking my head. Oh, because it takes a veterinarian to say that it is irresponsible to allow to sit, laugh, and film a dog that was obviously wrapped up into a robe because his front arms were put into the robe holes and he was rolled like that. It takes a veterinarian to say that that is irresponsible, not funny, that you should do everything that you could to help the animal and teach your children or whoever did that not to do that, because that's very, very frightening to an animal. And in so doing it, then you're teaching your children that they don't ever want to have blankets over their faces as well. But then there were people who thought that was funny, right? Now, it says, Karen, how are you going to call me a Karen when I'm saying I didn't know they were vets? Okay, you are doing that sarcastic, and y'all don't want to know about the last person that called me a Karen, okay? Yeah, well, let's just say that there's lots of tongues wagging about the day that somebody called me a Karen. And it says you're one of those kids that go around and call people Karen without knowing what a Karen is. Okay, well, you're the one who said, I am sorry, but didn't know you guys were vets, shaking your heads. Okay, you said something stupid, and now people are saying something stupid in return, so it's just stupid all the way around. Now, it says here, I agree, a person must be sick in the head to video this and think that you are entertaining other people. There you go, okay? And it says, this doggy was not appreciated in this house. Now, I think that they had him in the cage too often. I don't like that he was in the cage and the police are the ones who had to let him out, and that the Dietzes called and said, you know, hey, we want our dog back, and they didn't. And I don't like where the dog is at right now. It has not been a proven place to raise children or animals abuse free. Let's see here. And then it says, oh, brother, his tail is wagging. He's just fine. He knows it's a game by the tone of her voice and her sounds. Oh. And then it says, disgusting. This shows exactly what Shanann was. And then it says, you should not post these videos. This is animal abuse. Whatever possessed her to do this to dearest Dieter is beyond me. The only innocent survivor in the horrific tragedy being mocked in this way. I agree. I agree. I feel so bad for Dieter. And then it says, are you a buffer? What? What's a buffer? I don't know what a buffer is. And it says huffer. It says, so abused, you apparently have no idea how insensitive your comment truly is or how lightly you use the word abuse. What? So now they've got to do that. And then it says, I read in the comment section because I was sure there'd be the predictable and inevitable accusatory comment implying animal abuse. Well, it is. And then this one says, amen. I too was scrolling through the comments looking for an idiot. They're never hard to find because they're so plentiful. Okay, well, ma'am, your village just called. They're missing their idiot. Go back. And then it says this poor little dog must have seen everything that happened the night they were all... I know. And then this person with the brain says this video is extremely disturbing on so many levels. I know. Now it says here, she did some things that I would never do, but my God, nobody deserves what happened to her. I see people commenting about her MLM crap and the consistent social media posting still doesn't deserve what happened. How does any of that say that that deserves what happens? But how can you not say that a consistent pattern of problematic behavior led to a stressful situation that reached a point of no return? You cannot continue to say that one reaction did not cause the other and still think that every action deserves a reaction. Let's see here. And this poor dog, I would never treat my dog like that. No, nobody would. And it says, that's rotten. She was sadistic. Oh, Bella would get a kick out of it. I knew my hunch was right. Bella was creepy and sneaky. Nothing sweet about that little girl. Ooh, that's a little harsh. And then it says, cruel as F. What a horrible woman she was. And then it says, at least Saint Shanann was consistent with her abuse. Husband, check. Kids, check. Let me see what it says. Read more. Dog, check. Well, and then let's say, calm down. She probably took him out after filming. Yeah, oh, okay. Poor dog, what a silly person would do that and found it cute. This is encouraging that this society of 30,000 has some signs of intelligent life in it. And then, let's see. Well, they go to a train here. Do you know what? My kids were talking about this the other night. Okay, so when they were little, Thomas the Train came to town, and I did not have the money to take them to Thomas the Train, but I knew where Thomas the Train was going to be sitting, and so I took them there after dark, after they'd hooked him up for the night, for everything to, the festivities to open up the next day, and I took them to go and see Thomas the Train by ourselves in the dark. They've had nightmares ever since. They never watched Thomas again. Okay, now that's gonna be clipped to me like you guys are. Tabitha Jane is sadistic. No, I was just trying to get them to be able to see Thomas. But yeah, so my son was telling his girlfriend about that the other day. It's like she said something about liking Thomas, and they're like, yeah, we like Thomas too until the day our mom took us. I'm like, I did what I could for you. Anywho, those events when you have 3 littles, it's not cheap. Let's see what they go here. Let's see about this train here. There they are on a train. That's a cute train. Oh, is that Grandpa? Yep. So that's when the Roos must have been living there, and I think the Roos did make sure that the girls got something. Grandpa Roo. See, and it says here too, yeah. It says, I just adore her father. He loved those girls more than anything, all of them. I agree. And it says, what a grandpa. He loves his granddaughters. I think that both grandpas really did love their grandchildren. And Cindy Watts did too. And Sandra, in her own way, I think was better to the girls. There was just so much complexity in the relationship between her daughter and her need for control. And it says he was so invested in Shanann and her beautiful children. You can see the intense love on his face every video I've seen him in. He will suffer and grieve his entire life. And that's, I mean, that poor man, because he has to live with his wife. Okay. So this is 2 years ago, and it says, what? Who gave you the right to take this grandfather's daughter and grandchildren from him? CW and his demented parents and sister are so evil. What? Okay, what constitutes saying that about the Watts? What makes you think the Watts are demented, ma'am? And the sister's evil. And it says, CW, enjoy prison for hopefully another 50 years, and your parents can keep singing how they forgive you. Are you a Christian, ma'am? Let's see. I don't see that there's any indication that the Watts or Christopher Watts' sister are demented in any way. In fact, they seem to be level-headed, responsible, active members of society that raised a responsible son that had no problems, is a model prisoner, was a model employee, was a great dad, a great husband, until the snapshot of the last 2 months of the year 2018. So let's say June of 2018. So whatever started to transpire, coincidentally, when he was doubling up on those stickers because he malfunctioned and she put another one on him, allegedly. Let's see what else we've got here. Let's go over and look at some others. Let's go to... Let me see how many. Oh. Paranormal. Shanann Watts has sold Pyre Speaks Out. Yeah, I think they said something like they were really happy to get the house sold. Paranormal activity in the haunted Watts family. Are you kidding? And then let's see. Chris and Shanann Watts house photos from Search. Ooh, scathing Facebook posts by new owners. Ooh, from Neeks Peaks. I don't know that I've seen that. I've got to see that. I would go in there, but I know that Neeks does not want her stuff shared, but I want to ask her if I can do that. Let's see. And then, okay, the reality behind Shanann Watts' vision board, anti-MLM. Shanann Watts was as much of a victim to multi-level marketing, direct selling, network marketing, social sellings as she was to... Oh, this person might know what they're talking about. Let me see. As she was to...
Hey, it's me, your dry skin. I'm craving something we're missing.
No, I can't see that. Oh, anyway. Okay, so here I see that Nick and Amanda Thayer interview the friends that Chris, because it says in there now that like they're horrified that they let that monster across the street, across the hall from her daughter. It's like, oh my God, are you kidding? The J is for Justice podcast, where they talk about Shanann Watts's lupus. And then they go into, did she have lupus? Those are really interesting. This girl, have you guys ever seen this gorgeous girl?
Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a deep dive into all things Thrive. Now, before we get started, I want to address that there is going to do more of that here on this channel. I already have one anti-MLM deep dive on my channel.
Well, Hannah, let's look at your video. Okay, so Hannah, backstory on her, I have not watched this, but I have watched her other videos, and she, look at this, she's absolutely freaking beautiful. Of course, she's Mormon, because when you see somebody that naturally beautiful, healthy from within, just glowing, she's absolutely beautiful. She's a Mormon, and she's pregnant. So I don't know that, 1 year ago. So this was a year ago. She got pregnant, I think 6 months ago. I wonder how she's doing. I haven't looked for a while, but she is a school teacher, and her husband is in the military, I believe. But she's just so smart, and I mean, I think she teaches kindergarten. She explains things so well. Let's see what she says about Thrive. And again, I am using this under the. Let me see here. I'll probably get this video taken down. We know that, but let me see if I can remind everybody when I go to this one too. Let's see here. Let's see. You know what? Do you know what I'm going to do? I should probably just like make this into a separate one. Yeah, let's do that. So I will close this one out because then if one creator gets mad at me and strikes me down, hopefully the other one won't, and we can learn a little bit about Thrive together in the next video, and hope that beautiful Hannah doesn't strike me down too. I just feel like, you guys, I don't have any talent in making videos. So let's see here. We will stop at this one, and I will do a next one. What should we call what we just watched? Dieter in distress. maybe. So anyway, I shall be right back. Thank you for listening.